Hi, this is Bradley Pierce, Executive Director of Abolish Abortion Texas and the Foundation to Abolish Abortion, outside of the U.S. Supreme Court today, because earlier today the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in the case of Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health, a case to decide the constitutionality of the viability standard of Roe versus Wade. It's a case that could potentially lead to the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, a 1992 decision that really where the court doubled down on Roe versus Wade. We heard arguments from the state of Mississippi, from the attorney for Jackson Women's Health, the abortion clinic, and from the Biden administration, from the Solicitor General of the United States, all arguing this case. We got to hear the justices ask them lots of questions, some of which were very compelling, other questions which were kind of disturbing, and we don't know where that's going to lead. So today was just the oral arguments. The court is going to be continuing its deliberations behind closed doors between now and when they issue their opinion. We don't know when that'll be. Probably June or July is the expectation. That's kind of the common wisdom on the street, on the legal street. So we'll see when that is. But we're here today because we wanted to bring an abolitionist position to the court, which we did not just by our presence here today, but also by a brief that we filed with the court. It's called an amicus brief, a friend of the court brief by our organizations and 19 other organizations and 20 legislators as well, who all signed on to the brief to support the message of abolition to the Supreme Court of the United States. And so we're asking people to help join that, showing the Supreme Court that you support the abolishing abortion by signing on to the brief, which you can do at abolishabortiontx.org/sign the brief. So we don't know what's going to happen today. The Supreme Court could overturn Roe versus Wade later, here by June or July or so. We don't know what's going to happen between now and then. They could overturn Roe versus Wade. They could double down on Roe versus Wade, or they could try to find some kind of middle ground, like upholding a 15-week ban, but ultimately upholding Roe versus Wade, a woman's right to choose, so to speak, as they say. So we don't know what's going to happen. We pray for the Supreme Court. We pray for their hearts and their minds. But our message is still the same, and that is that the Supreme Court should do the right thing. They should overturn Roe versus Wade. But even if they don't, states should do so, because states have a duty under the Constitution to provide equal protection from the moment of fertilization. In fact, that's one of the arguments that we heard today, unfortunately given up, jettisoned by the attorney arguing for the state of Mississippi, and that is the argument of equal protection. Unfortunately, that attorney admitted that their argument was not that the Supreme Court should provide equal protection. They say that the Constitution is neutral on the issue of abortion. Well, we don't believe it's neutral. We don't believe it's neutral. We believe that states are required to provide equal protection because the 14th Amendment says no state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So that was one of the disappointing things that we heard from the pro-life side of the arguments today. But our message is still the same, and that is equal protection. And we're going to continue to push that message. If you support our message, please sign on to our brief, abolishabortiontx.org, TX for Texas, tx.org/sign the brief. Even if you're not in Texas, you can sign the brief, and your name will be put on a page where the Supreme Court, there's a link in here for the Supreme Court to go and see your name. None of your other information that you provide will be on there, just your first and your last name that we'll be putting on there. So thank you for everybody who's supporting us. Thank you for our sustaining members who help support us monthly so that we can do things like this and bring this message of abolition to the U.S. Supreme Court and to the folks that we've interacted with here today. So thank you. If you haven't already signed the brief, sign the brief. If you have already signed the brief, please share this video so that let other people know. Go sign the brief so you get the message of abolition in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. Thank you.